and it's crazy. He's a man of many talents, which just blows my mind.
But yeah, that's what, actors have to be a triple threat, especially in musicals. You have to sing, act, and dance all at the same time. And
Right,
that's a lot to remember.
right. So after that, this is we're coming close to the end of the musical. It's not a very long musical.
Yes, but
The
we're getting to my favorite part.
half of the musical is kind of like it's more of like fun jokes. It's not like an actual musical because there's not that many numbers in it. There's only like what, three,
I think so, yeah.
maybe four. I didn't include one of them because it was just them agreeing, which is pretty much the fathers agreeing for their daughters and sons to agree to date. So I I I would have included it, but I just think that
It wasn't
it isn't
relevant.
as important as the other ones. So okay, so as soon as they finished the last number, which is from I'm Your Super Friend, which is that's what it's called. They they go out into the streets because the mob bosses are having a full out war outside on the street. Now keep in mind from what we said in the beginning, if you die in the dream, you die out there. So
Mhm.
this whole time as they're in stuck in the musical, their friends from the real world in the show have been trying to find a way to get them out of the situation. And thankfully, right at that moment, they do manage to get into the dream and pull them out. But it was almost too late because they got shot
Mhm.
in the scene and they're about to die, and they're pretty much coming to amends with each other as they're about to die when they kiss their loved ones, which is like they're thinking it's maybe a final kiss, but it's not.
That was
And
definitely the climax of
yeah, it really was. And then so they both woke up from this coma-like state. They're out of the musical, and basically they took the lesson that they learned from the musical and put it into their real life. Kara decided to forgive Monel because he realized if obviously the clip it pretty much followed her own advice, let
Mhm.
pretty much tried to understand why he didn't say anything at all. And for Barry, uh, which is what happens in the final scene, Barry decides to finally propose to Iris in the most awesome and romantic way, which is how we're gonna end it because we gotta, and it's such a beautiful song. Basically, in the end, they're sitting at the house, and he comes home and he starts playing a beautiful song, and he sings it, and it's I believe it's called "Come Running
Run-
Home to You."
Running home to you, yeah.
Running home to you, and this is Sierra's favorite scene from it. She loves it, and
I have to. It's romantic. It's what's the word that I'm trying to look for? Like it's just it calls out to my heart, and like the acting was just so raw and real, and like I felt like I was actually Iris and Grant Gustin was proposing to me. Of course I would say yes. Like what?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Barry's voice was outstanding in it.
Mm-hmm,
He's got
very good.
one hell of a voice. And I mean, that's goes to show, like in musicals, how emotion kick like plays into musicals because like you don't necessarily need to have it, but it's very good to emphasize it because in the end, it's not like
Well, yeah,
it's
especially
it's
during
good.
singing, you need to express your emotions more because if you're just singing monotone, the message is not going to get across while singing.
Right. And okay, so I wanted to share this quote with you and everybody else. Well, it's not necessarily a quote, it's from this book called The Musical from the Inside Out by Stephen, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, Citron.